Hey guys, so I got my MRI results yesterday and I'm just waiting on my doctor's appointment now. Bottom line is, I'm gonna rest. Achilles tendinopathy and some minor tears. I forget what the ligaments were called, but basically from an ankle roll. With rest, I'm bored and I'm going to transplant something that I've been working on since my parents came out for their yearly visit, and we planted some plants in the front yard. I forget the name of it, so before I show you what it's turned into, I wanted to show you where we planted it outside. Of course, we're in December now, it's winter, and I'll show you here. There it is, Black Tower Elderberry. I leave the tags on because I can't ever remember the name of these things. When we're taking the pot out of the car, one of the tops broke off. And I think it had two little stems on it. So I took them. I didn't know if you could just dump them in water and roots would grow, but I took them. My mom suggested it. And I put them in a little cup of water, and I'll show you what happened. So the cup of water turned into roots, and then I planted it in this guy. And this is just a leftover pot from when we planted all those. I thought there was a sticker on it. Anyway, this is two separate ones. We got one on the right, which I planted. The roots didn't grow as quick on the right one, and that's why it's a good inch or two shorter than the left one. But it's doing really, really well. And my wife and I keep it being right next to the sink. Let's see if you can see this. The roots are starting to come out of the bottom. So I figured it was about time to transplant this guy. But just being this small, it's a nice looking little plant. And you can see from that sticker at 3 foot, it was $40. And I'm like, well, geez, I'm gonna save some money here because now I'm gonna have another whole plant. Just gonna transplant that guy into there and make sure I keep it watered. The other thing I got going on today other than laundry is drain the hot tub. It's like 40 degrees out here, that's why the hat's on. Drain the hot tub and refill it. Luckily I bought this little 3-person, and it's not difficult to drain. Just screw that in there and screw your garden hose in, and then screw this one to the left. That stops the flow. This turns on the flow. And it, I don't know what the gallons is, but it's a nice Arctic spa. Keeps things low energy. Clean that out. Redo the filter. Oh, hey Stella. Hi. She's like, what are you doing, you weirdo? And if I get to it, one more thing to do today. My Mini, the stupid blinkers stopped working. My headlights are working, the taillights are working, the brake lights are working. The blinkers stopped. So one of my other videos, you could see where I installed the LEDs. I tied them into the blinker wire, and that was on the inside of the fender. And so I know which one the blinker wires are for the front. I need to go to Harbor Freight and buy the ohm reader or whatever, the little tool to test if it's getting current to a wire. And then I'll just go from where I spliced in back to the firewall. Hi guys, so I'm going to transplant this, but first I've got to make room for it, and I'm thinking that it's big enough the root ball's big enough that it's just gonna go down in there. Of course I'll break up the root ball. But I did see the roots coming out of the bottom of the planter there, so I figure it's time. They're not going to get too much bigger in that little pot that I have. We'll get a look at it. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, I can't tell you how impressed I am with this little guy, because literally, guys, it was a broken piece, just a few inches tall, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen to it. But let's just break this up a little bit. That gives the roots real good chance to sit down in here. And then I'll just fill this back up. There you go.